Hi, good morning. Just recall what we have discussed in our last class. We have discussed about the perfect field. Okay, a field F is said to be perfect if every finite extension is a separable extension, and we have proved every field of characteristic 0 is perfect. And now in our today's class, we are going to prove every finite field is perfect. Okay, every finite field is perfect. So moving to the proof, let F be a finite field. Finite field means its characteristic must be either a prime number. Okay. If because for a field characteristic must be either a prime number or zero. So characteristic not zero means it is of characteristic. Finite field means it is of characteristic prime number. Okay. Now we have to prove this is perfect. So for proving perfect, what we have to prove? We have to prove every finite extension is a separable extension. So we are arbitrarily taking a finite extension. Let E be a finite extension of F. And we have to prove this E is separable over F. For proving E is separable over F, we are going to prove every element in E is separable over F. That is, for this we are taking an alpha belongs to E arbitrarily. So, and we have to prove every element is separable over F. That means we have to prove alpha is separable over F. Okay, clear? Now for this, choose f of x is equal to irreducible of alpha over f. F of x equal to irreducible of alpha over f. Now f of x factors in f closure into product I x minus alpha I nu, because f of x is an irreducible polynomial and it factors as a and all the roots are multiplicity same, therefore this, like we can write like this, x minus alpha I nu, multiplicity same, and alpha I are the distinct roots of f of x. Okay, but alpha I are the distinct zeros of f of x, and we say alpha equal to alpha 1. Okay, now let mu equal to p raised to t e. Mu is any number. Okay, so you can write mu as some p raised to t into e, where p does not divide d. Okay, if you take some 25, you can write this as some 5 square into 1. Or if you write some um, 30, you can write this as some 2, 3, 5. Or you can write some, if you take some 20, you can write this as some 2 square into 5. Okay, and if you take 25, you can write this as 2 raised to 0 into 5 square. Okay, if you're taking our p as 2, you can write like this. Okay, so if u is any number, you can write if nu is any number, you can write nu as p raised to t, because p is our fixed number, p is a characteristic. Okay, p raised to t into e, where p does not divide e. Clear? uh, if you if you take in p equal to 2, in this, suppose nu is equal to 25, then nu you can write like this. Okay, so nu you can write like this, and f of x is equal to this, you can write as f of x. For nu you can write as p raised to t into e, and this you can write this whole raised to e. Okay, because p into e is same as this whole raised to e, and this clearly belongs to f of x, because this is f of x is irreducible of alpha over f, and clearly that belongs to f of x. Therefore this is belongs to f of x, and p does not p is the characteristic of the field, therefore p into 1 equal to 0, and for any other number, that number into for any m into 1 not equal to 0, where m, if m does not divide, or if p does not divide, yeah, then m into 1 not equal to 0. So here p does not divide e, therefore e into 1 not equal to 0. Thus we get, just recall our theorem, f of x all raised to m belongs to f of x, and m into 1 not equal to 0, then f of x belongs to f of x. Here e into 1, okay, here e into 1 not equal to 0. Because if e into 1 equal to 0, then e must be either p or multiple of p. That means p divide e. This implies p divide e, which is a contradiction. Okay. Therefore, e into 1 not equal to 0. Now, by that lemma, number, you must change the number. This whole raised to m belongs to f of x implies this m into 1 not equal to 0 implies this f of x belongs to f of x. Here we have this polynomial. Product I x minus alpha I all raised to p raised to t belongs to f of x, using that theorem. Since f of x is an irreducible of alpha over f is a polynomial of minimal degree over f having alpha as 0, and this also belongs to f of x, we get e equal to 1. Because this is the smallest poly, this is in f of x, and this is the and irreducible of alpha over f is the polynomial with a minimal degree. Okay, so the only possibilities is e must be 1. Therefore, our f of x is like this. And this you can write like this, because if you apply binomial expansion here and the term containing p and as f is a field of characteristic p, we can write like this. Okay, so we can regard f of x as g of x raised to p raised to t. Okay, where g of x, if you take g of x as product I x minus alpha I raised to p raised to t, then g of x raised to p raised to t is same as our f of x. Okay, so our f of x must be in f of x, therefore g of x, we must get g of x must be in f of x. Now if you look at g of x is like this: product I x minus alpha I raised to p raised to t, all the zeros. What about the zeros of g of x? Alpha I raised to p raised to t, and alpha 1 raised to p raised to t is 1 0, alpha 2 raised to p raised to t is another 0, like this. And each zeros have multiplicity 1, that means g of x is separable over f. G of x is separable over f means each zero of g of x is separable over f. That means alpha 1 raised to p raised to t is separable over f. Alpha separable over f means f of alpha is a separable extension. Therefore, f of alpha 1 raised to p raised to t is a separable extension of f. Now, x raised to p raised to t minus alpha raised to p raised to t, you can write as x minus alpha raised to p raised to t. From this, the only zero of this x minus x raised to p raised to t minus alpha raised to p raised to t is alpha. Okay, this you can write like this. From this, the only zero, alpha is the only zero of this polynomial. Okay, in f closure, you just remember this statement and you can write this as some equation 1. We have to reach here. Now, we have E is a finite extension of f, and as a finite, f is a finite field. Therefore, f of alpha raised to p raised to t is again a finite field. Okay. Now, what is, okay. Now just to recall our Frobenius theorem. F is a finite field and then sigma p from F to F. Okay. Defined like this, sigma p of A equal to A raised to P. Okay, F is a finite. Here F of alpha raised to P raised to T is a finite field. And we are defining sigma p of A equal to A raised to P is an onto map. Okay. Now, if you consider composition, sigma p composition sigma p, then this is same as sigma p of A. And sigma, this is actually sigma, you can write this as sigma p of A raised to P, which is equal to sigma A raised to P square. Okay. And proceeding like this, we get sigma p raised to T is as an automorphism on f of alpha raised to p raised to T, and sigma p raised to T of A equal to A raised to P. This is actually sigma p A raised to P raised to T. Okay. A raised to P raised to T. Now, as sigma p is an automorphism of f of alpha, f of alpha raised to p raised to t, it is an automorphism. It is an onto map by Frobenius automorphism theorem. Okay. And we know that alpha raised to p raised to t clearly belongs to f of alpha raised to p raised to t. And sigma p raised to t is onto. That implies there exists a beta belongs to f of alpha raised to p raised to t such that sigma p raised to t of beta equal to alpha raised to p raised to t. That means by definition this is beta raised to p raised to t equal to alpha raised to p raised to t. This implies beta raised to p raised to t minus alpha raised to p raised to t equal to 0. This implies beta is a 0 of this polynomial x raised to p raised to t minus alpha raised to p raised to t. But we have proved alpha is a only 0 of x raised to p raised to t minus alpha raised to p raised to t. And here we get beta is a 0 of. So this implies alpha equal to beta. Now beta belongs to f of alpha raised to p raised to t implies alpha belongs to f of alpha raised to p raised to t. Alpha belongs to f of alpha raised to p raised to t, and f of alpha is the smallest field contained in containing f and alpha. Therefore, f of alpha is contained in f of alpha raised to p raised to t. Now where alpha belongs to f of alpha. Now f of alpha is a field, alpha raised to m belongs to f of alpha for any integer m. And if you take m is equal to p raised to t, then alpha raised to p raised to t belongs to f of alpha. And f of alpha raised to p raised to t is the smallest field containing alpha raised to p raised to t. Therefore, f of alpha raised to p raised to t is contained in f of alpha. Okay. Here alpha raised to m belongs to, therefore f. Okay. Therefore, here we get alpha raised to p raised to t belongs to f of alpha. Therefore, f of alpha raised to p raised to t contained in f alpha. From 1 and 2, we get f of alpha equal to f of alpha raised to p raised to t. Already we have proved f of alpha raised to p raised to t is separable over f. This implies f of alpha is separable over f. Okay. This implies alpha is separable over f. Thus, we have chosen an alpha belongs to A arbitrarily and we get alpha is separable over F. Since alpha is arbitrary, we get every element of E is separable over F. Okay. And as E is separable over F, every finite extension is a separable extension. This implies F is perfect. Okay. F is we get from this E is separate alpha. We get every element E is separable over F. Implies by corollary now we get E is separable over F. As E is arbitrary, we get every finite extension is a separable extension. This implies F is perfect. Okay. Now moving to next theorem, primitive element theorem. In today's class, we are discussing only statement of the theorem. Okay, proof we will discuss in our next class. Now, primitive element theorem, this is also very important. Let E be a finite separable extension of a field F, then there exists an alpha belongs to E such that E equal to F of alpha. If E is a finite separable extension of a field F, then there exists an alpha belongs to E such that E equal to F of alpha. That is, A finite separable extension of a field is a simple extension. E equal to f of alpha means E is a simple extension. That means every finite separable extension of a field is a simple extension. Proof we will discuss in our next class. Okay, that's all for today's class.